Alright guys, so welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video, we're going to talk about a pair of headphones, but let me start it this way. Let's just say you're looking at the Bose QC35 or either the Sony 1000XM3. And what if I told you that there's a pair of headphones that are just as good, but could cost you $100 less? Would you be interested? So the pair we're going to talk about is the Panasonic HD605N. Now first off, inside the box, just like the other two headphones, you get a very thin, very nice carrying case. Again, for travelers, people want really nice cases that are thick and sturdy, but also very thin, so you can throw it in a bag and not have it take up so much of your space. And just like the other headphones, whenever you open it up, you can see that the headphones are laid out a specific way to minimize on how much space it takes up, but also allow for the other accessories. Now, speaking of the other accessories, you do get an airline adapter. Again, I don't know how useful this is nowadays, but the fact that it's in there, it's just nice. And then you have the 3.5mm headphone cable. That way, if you don't want to use it wireless, you're able to use it wired. And then they have a micro USB cable. In 2019, I don't understand why certain companies are still using micro USB. But anyway, speaking of battery life, you get 20 hours of battery life, but it also has the quick charge feature so that if you charge it for 15 minutes, you can get an additional 2 hours of use. That comes in handy again when you pick them up and realize you didn't have them charged, you forgot to charge them, anything. It's just nice to be able to get that boost and not have to wait hours to get them fully charged. And like I said, on the headphones themselves, their going price right now is $250, and that is for the black model and the brown. Their original retail price was $300, so it's already dropped $50, and these were even on sale during the holidays for $200. So you can see that there's a pretty significant price difference between these and the Bose and the Sonys. Now, build quality on these is actually pretty impressive. I like the fact that there is a pleather headband that goes all the way across. On the other two, you just have like a smaller space, and this just makes it look more uniform. To me, this is just a really stealthy, sexy looking headphone. And also the headphones are really low profile, so when they're on your head, they're not sticking out much. They're not really big and obnoxious. So that's a big plus for people that are on the go all the time as well. The pleather that's on the ear pads are extremely soft, and you can actually see the drivers inside, and it kind of has this green and yellow shine, like gloss to it. It looks really cool inside of there. Again, it's inside the ear cup, so that's not a big deal, but it is something I thought was a nice touch. Now, the way that these slide up, the pleather headband actually slides up on the side of the brackets. So these do fold down so that you can have them this way and just throw them in a bag. But if you're wanting to put them in the case, you have to lay them flat and then swivel in one of the ear cups so that it goes in this way. Branding is really minimal on these. There's just simple Panasonic on the outside of both of the ear cups, but it's the same color of the headphones, so it doesn't stand out at all. Your left and right are marked on the inside, right above the hinge where these fold in. Panasonic actually has a 360-degree ball joint in these. So when you have these on, depending on how your head turns or your ears are positioned, these kind of swivel and stay like really comfortable the whole time. I had no issues with comfort out of these. So as far as the controls goes, it's actually pretty simple. We'll go ahead and look at the inputs first. On the bottom of the left-hand side is your 3.5mm headphone jack input. On the right-hand side, you'll see the micro USB input. Right above that is your power button, and above that is your noise canceling button. These actually have 3 different levels of noise canceling, which is really nice because you don't always want it to be extremely strong, and you might want to tone it back depending on the environment you're in. And now right above that is the volume switch. Now, I like the switch design because I like the fact that you just have this tactile feel of sliding this thing up and down to get the right volume. Now, this is also your action button. So you would press it once to pause, once again to resume your music. You would tap it twice to skip forward, and then tap it 3 times to go backwards. And it's all done with one button, and it's just really nice. It's really simple. Now, one thing that these did borrow from the Sonys is it has the ability to cup the right ear cup if somebody is talking to you, and the speakers on the headphones just kind of digitally amplifies the sound outside into your headphones. So it makes you more aware, and it keeps you from having to pull these on and off every time somebody talks to you or every time something's going on around you. Now, before we get into sound, let's go ahead and get into the noise canceling, because most people that are looking at these are more interested in noise canceling than they are the sound. Now, I will say, as far as the noise canceling level, it's not up there with the Bose and the Sony, but it's pretty damn close, especially considering they're this much less. But like I said, there are 3 different levels, 3 being the strongest, 2 being kind of the middle, and 1 being the lowest. So if you're in an environment where there's traffic and you kind of want to hear if somebody honks at you or anybody's approaching you, you'd want to keep it on 1. 2 is just kind of middle of the road, and you want to kind of still hear a little bit of stuff around you. And 3 actually does a really impressive job of blocking out your environment.
Noise cancelling 3.
Again, it doesn't have the suction that Bose does and that can cause the headache that most people get with using Bose. It doesn't cancel out as much as the Sony, where you put them on and it's just complete silence. You can still hear slight sounds here and there. So for the noise canceling, I was really impressed what these were able to do for 250 bucks. And to be honest, you can go on Amazon, look at some of the other sellers, and get these closer to around 150. And that just makes it a complete steal. It's capable of playing the aptX and LDAC coding for Bluetooth, which gives you the best Bluetooth playback possible. Because the sound on these, this is where I fell in love. The Bose is not my favorite sounding. Sony had me in their sound because it's more fun, it's impactful, the bass was great, mids were great, treble, like it just had an energetic sound. These do that exact same thing, but they actually give you a little more bass. I personally like that because I love the impact of bass. I love to feel music. I like the exciting side of music. I'm not one that really likes to pick apart and wants a flat sound signature. Now, the mids in these headphones are also very forward. I felt that vocals were really up front, really in your face. I never felt like they were buried with anything else, and that goes with the treble as well, but in a good way, where there is a very good balance across the bass being punchy, the mids being forward, and then the treble also shining as well without being too harsh. Like I said, it just lends to this being a very fun and energetic headphone to listen to. So those who want a more flatter sound signature might want to look at some of the others, because this is the best, most energetic sounding out of the 3, in my opinion. Now again, sound is subjective. You could try these on and hear something completely different, but overall, with the sound stage being the way it is, it's pretty open considering these are closed back and they're noise canceling. Noise canceling kind of plays into that though, because it cuts out your environment, so it makes you feel more like all you have is your music. And it gives you more awareness of where things are coming from as far as your sound goes. So as far as from an entertainment side, if you want to watch movies, this is going to be your best bet simply because of the bass impact on explosions. So it just makes you have that theater type experience in the headphones. Now, as far as with music, across all genres, I think these really shine. But because of the boosted low end, it did work well with classical, but I think that people that might listen to just strictly classical might not like these as much because of what these are adding to the music. But as far as metal and hip hop and pop, that's where these are aimed at. They're just overall a great pair of headphones for 250 bucks. So guys, that is my review of the Panasonic HD605N. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.